Why, hello there everyone. I'm Laxow, aka the Kumo Sensei. 皆さん、こんばんは。明星でしょど。And I know I've been gone for a long time, but allow me to explain what has happened. So, the last time you saw me, I was stating that I was building some enclosures, and I was trying to reopen my business, but then I hit a drawback, and allow me to explain what has happened. So essentially at work, at 7 p.m. on September 9th on a Tuesday, due to a faulty machine error, a rivet went through my finger, my index finger on my right hand, and what happened was they shut down the production line, and don't worry, I'm fine, but what ended up happening was I was essentially handicapped because I couldn't really use my right hand. I was basically just a sitting duck, just waiting for my finger to recover so I can get back to work. And doing tarantula work without your dominant hand is actually a real challenge. So I had to take it extremely slow. So because of that, I really couldn't record anything, nor do the work that I normally do with my tarantulas because I only had my left hand and my right hand was still recovering while I was basically stuck the way I was for a little bit. So during this time, I really didn't build any enclosures because obviously my injury on my index finger making it very difficult for me to do anything. Other than that, I really just had to wait and basically try to reopen my business on the side. And that is also a hassle I'm currently trying to get through. It's not hard necessarily, but it's a lot of steps. So basically I'm trying to reopen my business Laxow Legacy, and I'm also trying to build a Shopify website, so that way you guys can just buy it through that web store once I create it. I am still testing it, but I can't really fully release the website because one, my business still needs to be approved by the state, and there are some things here and there I gotta figure out. And so basically nothing much has changed at all. I do have some slings and some specimens I do want to sell, but until I get the approval that I need and the papers to go through, I'm basically just sitting and waiting. So essentially this entire time, it has been setbacks and really just waiting for me to recover. So I apologize if everybody was expecting a lot. Now as for the enclosures, I am building some things, and that's going to be for the next video actually, because now I can finally go back to building enclosures now that my right hand is pretty much healed up. And man, I'm so glad to be building enclosures again, because I'll tell you, they're very expensive, but I do like what I'm creating, and a lot of these are still prototypes once you see them. So stay tuned for that video, and I do want to try to do a vlogish sort of style for this channel, but that would require a face reveal, and everybody knows how I look like, so if you don't, here's a quick glimpse of how I look. And sorry if I'm a bit out of shape, but I couldn't really train when I was pretty much injured because my right hand couldn't hold any weights. So I basically just dieted and just trying to maintain myself until my hand recovered. But now that it's recovered, I can pretty much do the normal work again. And man, there's a lot of tarantulas I gotta rehouse, a lot of tarantulas I gotta feed, and some that I do need to breed still. So there is plenty of work that I still have to do. A lot of them are rehouses, and for those who are wondering, I was supposed to rehouse a lot of these tarantulas, but because of my injury on my index finger, I decided to hold off on it because I don't want to be rehousing a tarantula and then it bolting away with me only having my left hand available since my right hand on my index finger wasn't looking so great. So I didn't want to take any chances, so really I just had to wait it out. So a lot of these tarantulas that I have in my collection, they're basically ready for a rehouse, so yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. And I also do want to make a video as well discussing about the business side of things, because I think some people will need to hear it, or some people might find it interesting to basically understand a bit more about the business side of tarantulas. So some people have been asking, am I going to buy some more inventory before I, reopen Laxow Legacy? My website that is, and so far I haven't really found anything that I find interest in that I want to buy for my inventory to sell to you viewers, so this is kind of a wait and see. So most of the things I will be selling, most of them will be slings that I've produced. That's going to be pretty cool honestly, seeing people having slings that I produce. I do have some interesting specimens of the batch that I do want to show you guys and sell because I find them to be very intriguing, and maybe some of you keepers may actually find interest in them, such as Little Thumper. But that's gonna be for another video, because that little one is pretty interesting. It's a little runt, but it's an interesting little specimen, I'll tell you. So there will be more videos to come, so stay tuned for that while we wait for Laxow Legacy to reopen, because it's a very complicated process, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get it resolved next week. It's a slow process, but it's something you have to do the right way, especially here in the United States if you want to sell tarantulas. But if you made it this far, I do want to talk about something as well, and that is diversification. So I am pretty much a tarantula, an experienced tarantula breeder, keeper, and things of that nature, anything revolving around spiders and tarantulas. But in terms of other animals, I'm really not too skilled at. While a lot of you may know that I'm pretty good at keeping Pac-Man frogs and things like that, I'm also not really too good at breeding them. So I really want to learn how to breed other animals, not just tarantulas. And I also want to diversify from just tarantulas. And I'm not quitting tarantulas by any means, but the thing about business is that you do have to know what your weaknesses are. And my weakness, without a doubt, is diversification. So for now, I'm just going to be sticking with tarantulas, something I'm very good at, something I'm very skilled at. But if you have a recommendation on an animal you would like to see me try, leave it down in the comments down below, and maybe I'll consider giving it a shot. And if it piques my interest, then maybe I'll try to get into it. So next week, I am ordering some goldfish, just for myself, I guess. And it was more of my brother's recommendation. My brother is into koi's. I'm not really a fish person, but he told me to give it a shot. So I am going to try to keep, just a couple to a few goldfish, just for, my own personal sake. Now, I am not anywhere near as skilled as my brother in terms of koi's or fish in general, but really just gotta see what works and what doesn't. So for those who are not familiar with my family, I do mention them from time to time, but if you're new here, my father is into birds, specifically pigeons. My older brother, he's into koi's, and as for me, I'm more into tarantulas, and my other family members, they're more into other animals. Now, in terms of my father, though, I am nowhere near as skilled as he is with pigeons, so I don't even want to give that a shot, honestly. Especially with someone that has over like 30 years, 20 years of experience with pigeons. No, that's just... I would never compare, honestly. So if you're wondering why I don't diversify into pigeons like my father, it's really because I don't want to be put under the pressure of being compared to my father. My father chose pigeons for his path, and I chose tarantulas for my path. So I don't want to be forced to be in a position to where I'm chasing after my father, because really I want to focus on my legacy. As for the goldfish, well, my brother just nagged me enough to where I basically just gave in. So that's going to be an interesting experience, I guess. And he did say I should start another channel for that. So maybe I'll call it Laxow Aquatics or something, I don't know. And just follow my adventure as I deal with some goldfish. Sounds kind of funny. But without further ado, everyone, I'm back. I'll be uploading it as normal. And as always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to stick around. And as always, everyone, stay lax and Laxow out from the Kumo Sensei.